Sarvesham swastirбhavatu, Sarvesham shantirbhavatu, Sarvesham purnam bhavatu, Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May there be happiness for all. May there be peace for all, completeness for all, and auspiciousness for all. So this is, first point is to know, to understand the mantra. Second point is to contemplate and reflect. For example, happiness is everywhere. How come? Belief pending inquiry. Third point, what I have reflected I should apply to the mind. I asked you your home address, now let me put into the GPS and drive. That point is very important. May there be happiness for all. So let me just do, so you have to apply that in all the time, during the day. Whenever you meet someone, you find another situation, may there be happiness for all. How to apply that? You remember. You remember and you repeat. We have understood the cause and effect, and we have understood, we have a clarity. So after the cause and effect, to get an address of yours and putting into the GPS, it's a one-time job. But here we have to remember and repeat again and again and again. Someone knocked the door, your mind remembers, may there be happiness, manifest happiness in him and in me. So that repetition and remembrance. What is this? Can we say it is a cognitive awareness? Answer is yes, it is a cognitive awareness. In order to reach to that cognitive understanding, we have to follow that. Open your eyes. Why we have to follow? I gave you an example. The dog looks into the mirror and starts reacting as if other dog is there. And here, I look into the mirror, I am looking at myself while looking into the mirror. So that is what the remembrance is. So the more and more I remember, just I chant the mantra. That is why the tradition says that we should continue to repeat the mantra at all the time. Sarvesham swastirбhavatu sarve, or maybe Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, all the time, mentally, mentally and emotionally. So when we are doing, we move our mind from not the dog mind, not the pet mind, but the human mind. Oh, Om Shanti, within me. So you see that one practice we have understood, the japa practice, the constant and consistent repetition of a particular mantra, either by beads or without beads, with rosary and without rosary. Why? Otherwise, the mind is going to repeat the same old stuff. He is crazy, she does not listen to me, my mom is like this, my dad is like this, my parents and my honey and my friend. The whole day, our mind, default mind, continues to work. If not, tell me, But if I'm remembering and repeating, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, so my mom is crazy, Om Shanti. My honey doesn't listen to me, Om Shanti. Now you see. That is what the cognitive. It is not a meant habitual repetition. It is not the impulsive, conscious repetition. You understood the cause and effect, and then you repeat it. That is what I wanted to talk a little deeper into the Mangalacharan. It is based on the two incidental diversion we have taken. I told you that find out intellect, cause and effect. I have understood the principle. Now let me apply it. But it doesn't happen because the mind has to be completely pure. If the mind is pure, it is receptive. It lives in higher awareness. Otherwise, it is getting carried away by the past impressions. That is taking the time. I am not taking too much of your time. It is your own mind is taking too much of time to rise into that state of awareness. Are you getting it? How easy it is. The moment I look into the mirror, I'm looking at myself. So the intellect makes it clear the cause and effect. I have understood happiness is my nature. Let me live into that state of the happiness. Let me make an extra effort by knowing, by understanding, by remembering and repeating. That is why we have taken the two sessions with the diversion. How to overcome the default mind. Default mind means impulsive mind, reactive mind. We have already discussed in detail about it. Now let us come back to our six treasures. Six treasures. First treasure we have understood the internal calmness. Understanding the active peace. We normally understand the relaxation as something very passive. No, it is very active. That is what the internal calmness is. So the first we have understood that the higher the level of discernment and dispassion, greater the active peace is there in your life. I have to discern. Oh, you are making me crazy. I have to discern how anyone can make me crazy. So I understood the movement of the mind, which is impulsive and reactive, which disturbed my inner peace, mental peace. Now I have left it through the practice of discernment, and I am into the state of dispassion, and I am free. So it is not he said sorry and you say sorry. No, it is your internal working. Sama. We also understood that if we apply daily in our thought, speech, and action, it is going to settle in our mind. Internal calmness. Then we discussed about the Dhamma, the mastery over the senses, the external calmness. Sama, mastery over the mind, internal, and Dhamma, external. External means role of the mind is already present. The moment I see you and my mind goes back into the past impression and it reacts. So I don't allow the mind to react with that past impression. That is also a part of the Dhamma. So Dhamma is also an active phase. You look with awareness, you feel with awareness, you experience with awareness. Otherwise, what happens? My mom is like this, my honey is like this. So that external calmness is not maintained. It does not follow your discernment. Then we moved into the uparati or uparama. Uparama. You practice sama, you practice dhamma, and then check the state of the mind. That state of the calmness is maintained throughout the day. Throughout the day, you are meeting those people with whom you have been reacting. You get into anger and hesitation, but now that calmness, that uparama, doesn't allow to react. It is again an active phase. Why we all are doing it? We want to reach to the state of awakening. We want to reach to that state of awakening. So it is the committed mind. I discussed about it. Committed mind is a discerning intellect, and casual mind will not be able to find that calmness throughout the day. Sama, art of active peace, understanding the active peace, building sama through the fourfold practices. We discussed about it. And then you apply the sama in your thought, speech, and action. Another word, another meaning of the sama is equanimity. One is to subdue and control. Another meaning of the sama. I'm not taking in detail. Even I have taken 5 or 6 points of the sama. One meaning of the sama, it is derived from the Sanskrit root, which means equanimity. Equanimity means what? No reaction, no response, just let me check first my mind. I'm calm, yes. Now let me go out. In every situation and relationship, fully engaged with the mind. That is where the sama, but when the dhamma comes, it is the senses versus the mind. The dhamma governs the external actions, what you see, hear, feel, touch. Sama governs the internal triggers. You see, internal trigger and external trigger. Pay attention, we are moving ahead. External trigger, internal trigger. These two words are very important. Phrases is very important. And then we come to the uparama, resting the mind in truth. Resting the mind in what is permanent will help you maintain the state of calmness all the time. We already understand what is real, permanent, never changing, all pervading. So we have to apply in uparama, okay, that calmness is maintained throughout the day. The uparama manifests after sama and dhamma only when the mind and the senses are disciplined. You move into the active phase of internal calmness and external calmness. It is nothing to do with the suppression. It has more to do with an awakening. Our goal is awakening and realization. Now think that what should be the fourth treasure in our life. We discussed about calmness inside. We discussed about calmness with reference to the sense organ. But if the guy comes to you and he is or she is crazy, constantly reacting to you, living in the family, what to do with the external triggers, external reactions? Isn't it, Christina Ragu, you are thinking of it? What to do with that? Everyone, why question Arago? Everyone has some problem with the world outside. What to do with it, the world outside? How to manage it? How to live into that state? There comes the fourth treasure, which is known as titiksha. It is known as titiksha. It has many meanings in English. You may say endurance, forbearance, resilience, many words. Many words. There are two words. One is the tapa. Tapa means a kind of an austerity. You volunteer yourself. You go to the Himalayas, you stand on 1 feet, you practice. You might have heard in the journey of the austerity. Or you are fasting. So you volunteer yourself. That is known as the tapa. Both comes from T word, tapa and titiksha. But the titiksha means that you are subjected to pain and pleasure. You are subjected to extreme weather. You are subjected to extreme triggers and pressures from relations and family. What to do in that situation? You didn't volunteer. What that titiksha word is used. Did you understand? So it means titiksha means that I have to learn how to endure, how to develop resilience, how to develop forbearance in this journey of the self-discovery. That is our fourth treasure. So we will pick up each one. We will pick up the word endurance. We will understand what is this endurance, what is this resilience. Now you see the way our masters have developed this entire program of the 6 treasures. It will make a sense. So titiksha, the Sanskrit word, you may say forbearance, patience, endurance, resilience is required after mastering sama, dhamma, and uparama. Why? Because even with the inner calm and the sense mastery over the senses, the life inevitably presents unavoidable pain, unavoidable hesitation, dualities, for which tolerance without mental disturbance is essential. Why? So that I can continue to live in higher awareness, so that I can absorb myself into a higher meditation. Why? To awaken myself. So we have the fourth treasure. You might have heard, you may recall yourself in daily life, what the hell, what the heck, my honey doesn't understand. Titiksha is recall. If honey does not understand, better you understand. You continue to live in samadhama and uparama. The honey follows his or her path of evolution. You follow your own path. You are understanding the Eastern wisdom. Why don't you follow the endurance? If he or she does not understand, are you understanding? Very important point. It demands a higher level of attention. Sama brings mental calm, no problem. Dhamma disciplines the senses. Uparama helps rest in the higher self. Yet the world continually subjects us to pleasure and pain, heat and cold, weather also, extreme weather. You know what we do? When there is a extreme heat, or let us say extreme cold, what we do? We use the blankets. Do you fight with the body? Can you imagine how the titiksha can work? Are you understanding? I'm just giving an example of titiksha. First, understand it clearly. Titiksha is not fighting, suppressing, agitating, reacting. Do you have a blanket to endure the pain coming from your honey? What is that blanket? What blanket do you want? Honey may be your mom, dad, relations, friend, etc. And is not only the partner. Can you imagine? Think of it. Find out what kind of a blanket you need to save yourself from extreme cold. But here the coldness is a reaction, an anger, an hesitation from your near and the dear ones. What is that blanket? How to deal with it? Find out. I'm trying to make it so that your mind can easily remember and understand. Next time you react, you will remember. Oh, I have to do like this, I forgot this. With the near dear ones, So titiksha is cultivated strength to endure life's opposites without losing peace, without hesitating the mind, without fostering resentment. Oh, it's cold outside. Let me have a sweater. Let me cover myself with a blanket. Let me have the woolen socks. Let me cover myself with gloves. You see that? Here you are not fighting with the opposites. You are not losing your peace. You are not hesitating the mind. You are not fostering resentment. Is it possible? And if that is possible, that is what is titiksha. I'm just introducing. Today is the introduction of titiksha. So without this forbearance, endurance or resilience, even uparama, even sama and dhamma will work. Find out. It will not work. You have done everything inside, but there is a constant input of that problem, hesitation and reaction all the time. How can you manage it? One way of managing, if your partner, one way of managing is divorce. One way of my mom should live in assisted living, she is crazy, she doesn't listen, so forth. But here, that solution is not applied. Titiksha transforms the inner mastery from controlled environment into a resilience, unconditional peace that survives the unpredictability of the external world. So what you have to understand, first there is the world outside is unpredictable. It can push me into any situation, but I have not to be impacted by that situation. Are you understanding? Are you getting it? I gave an example of the extreme cold. You prepare yourself before you go to any area where there is an extreme cold, or even to Alaska. Sama, control of the mind, if I say so for the sake of understanding. Dhamma, control of the senses. Uparama, withdrawal to the higher self. Titiksha, patient endurance of all the opposites. What are all the opposites? Pain and pleasure, extreme attachment and extreme detachment. Sometimes, mom says, I don't want to talk to you. Stop this. I'm not hesitated. Is it possible? Yes. Master says it is possible by the practice, by understanding the titiksha. You can use the word titiksha as a forbearance, endurance, resilience. This is the introduction of the fourth treasure known as titiksha. I also differentiated titiksha with the tapa. So tapa means that I volunteer myself. So you volunteer, I never say to honey anything. He or she is always, constantly creating trouble in my home, and I'm maintaining my peace. You're maintaining your peace. That is not what we are learning. Let us discuss. Huh? Let us discuss Titiksha, or let us discuss what I talked about it. Yes, Dennis, you want to go ahead?
Yes, first of all, some thoughts about the importance of mantra that you mentioned at the beginning. I think our mind likes to repeat a lot. If it likes something, it wants to repeat that experience again and again, indefinitely. And if it dislikes something, it wants to get rid of that experience. And by repetition, it creates a pattern and that pattern is kind of a trap because the mind automatically engages with this pattern without thinking, without discerning. So one of the tools to to help us to get out of that trap is a mantra. Uh, Repeating a mantra creates another pattern that is superimposed over our habitual patterns of likes and dislikes. So this new pattern created by the mantra weakens other patterns. It creates an alternative uh, or the way to escape the trap of our habitual patterns. Um, Regarding Titiksha, um, years ago, external triggers used to cause a lot of unease internally in my mind. And even though it didn't usually manifest externally in my speech and actions, it triggered a lot of thoughts that distracted me from whatever I was doing at that moment. And of course, I thought that external trigger in the form of external situation or person is to blame for my distraction. But in the last years, it has become very clear that external triggers have nothing to do with my distractions. The only thing to blame is my own mind that lacked endurance or prediction. Uh, and it has become clear now that any external trigger is the way to see the problem in the mind, the way to find that problem and to get a chance to solve it. And I think that uh, being able to use that tool not to get uh, distracted, but to be able to fix my own mind is what the picture is.
Beautifully said. First point is very important. What I am referring as a cognitive awareness, I have understood. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. When your eyes are open, you find a person with whom you have a hatred. Can you say by repetition, may there be happiness for you also? Mentally, you say, and you get rid of that hesitation. Is it possible? If it is possible, we are living as a higher seeker, and our goal is very near. The second point is very important. External triggers causes the internal hesitation. For example, people say, I don't like cold, I don't like hot. Now, I have created a trigger to myself. There the titiksha is required. And that just I'm giving simple examples. My mom is like, hold on. You are like this. First, understand yourself. My mom is like this. My honey is like this. You are like this. You are causing the trouble to yourself. You see, Titiksha? You put on the gloves, you If you are going into the cold, wear everything that is hot and then safeguard yourself. So you safeguard yourself, then you don't react to the extreme cold, or that is what the Titiksha is. Beautifully said. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. And Dennis, as always, thank you. That was perfect. That's exactly my mind and my journey. But at the end of the day, this journey, when you boil it, and by the way, I love the blanket analogy, because that's, that we can't change the cold. The cold is what it is. It's external, but we can adapt to the cold, or by putting a blanket on. But my realization is that this journey is really about understanding the mind. And the more understanding we have of the mind, the better our peace and happiness is going to be. I mean, that's my summary of today's lesson.
Yes, beautiful. Pay attention that wear a blanket the moment your mind is ready to react. Blanket of peace, blanket of resilience, blanket of endurance. We can use different terms. So, better, it is always good to find the cause and effect, contemplate and reflect within your mind. And then you will see that the change will come. But if you don't contemplate and you don't reflect on these principles, then nothing is going to happen. Yes, Jerry.
Just one more thing. Sorry, I just want to add this. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I started doing my mantra. And then all of a sudden, I got thinking about this old movie called The Gods Must Be Crazy. And the thesis of the movie is there's this remote tribe in Africa that had no outside exposure to anybody, and they were peace and happy and loving and caring. An airplane flies over and drops a Coke bottle into the tribe, and that causes attachment, that causes delusion, and it destroys the tribe. So for whatever reason, I thought about that in the middle of the night after
Yes, it fits here. I find to control the world outside, and I fall trapped with an attachment or detachment or action or reaction. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. I like Dennis's analogy of the mantra works well to set the value. And then the mantra also works well when you find any disturbance. And to that point is that when we have any disturbance, then we get the chance to look at it, to work on the mind and see where the attachments are. And with the didiksha, I think that that blanket that we use, it's almost just this unveiling of that happiness and peace and completeness that's there. So if anything that comes our way, we just we'll just know how to go about it. And for those things that repeat, those repeated events that maybe are in your home or in your workplace, the endurance is just seeing if maybe we could try a different approach, or because it's not to tolerate or to restrain, but it really is to bring that peace and bring can we shine a light, mostly for ourselves, but also for the environment that we find ourselves in.
Beautifully said. One point that it has nothing to do to tolerate. When you tolerate, you are burning within. When you say, I'm tolerating you, are you doing favor to me? No, you are not doing. You are doing unfavor to yourself. That we need to understand. So it has nothing to do with any favor and disfavor. Tolerate. No, Titiksha has nothing to do with it. It is an unveiling of the peace and happiness in extreme situations that we enjoy, We are in Arizona, we go to Colorado, we enjoy the cold weather and the snow and even in the Flagstaff. It is all about, it is, and we enjoy that. Weather is extreme. Can I enjoy the extreme weather at the mental and the emotional level? Beautifully said. How are you, Stephen?
Sir, thank you. And thanks everybody for your insights. And I agree with all of it. What I was thinking about during today's lesson is that it's becoming clearer and clearer the importance of self-discovery. And it's part of every step and every lesson that we've learned, that we're learning along the way. And with coming to Tiksha, it's the fact that it's almost that we have to put a mirror up and realize that in every situation and anything that's being brought to, thrown at us, brought to us, affected by us, is to just look at the mirror and say it has absolutely nothing to do with anything outside. And it's how I'm reacting to it, it's how I'm reading it, it's how I'm embracing it. And it's important. And with that is that I believe that's what brings the endurance. That's the understanding. And in order to achieve this Tiksha, it requires the discerning mind. It takes an instantaneous switch from the default mind or just getting into that discerning mind to be able to realize and have that heightened awareness that it's about me and not what's going on outside.
Beautifully said. I can summarize in one line that I am independent of the world outside, of any situation and relations, and that cognitive awareness comes by Sama, Dhamma, and Upram. First three practices. So I have a sense of independence. I don't fight with my honey to say that I'm independent of you. Don't intrude my privacy. No, that is an American way of saying it. So I have started understanding how people. No, I'm independent. Independent. But what is that independence which comes by understanding the active piece inside, active piece outside, and continuous nature of the calmness that I recognize cannot be disturbed by the outer situation that leads me to the Tiksha, beautifully summarized. How are you, Brandy?
I'm fine, thank you. This lesson with Tiksha reminds me of when I was a school teacher of young children and they would get upset with each other, upset about something in the classroom. And I would just say, solve your problem. And I love the simplicity of solving your problem. It's as simple as, if you're cold, put a blanket on, right? I mean, do what you need to do to find your peace. And they would get so worked up about, like, somebody took my thing, or I don't know, solve your problem.
Yeah.
And I think that that's basically what it is. We have to remember to solve our problem.
Yes, beautifully said. That is another level of awareness. I'm cold, solve my problem. Oh, guy is reacting, solve the problem of my mind. Why you are reacting? What the hell? No, I have not to blame anyone. No, we start blaming and fighting with others. No, that is not going to work. Yes, Christina Rago, thank you. Beautifully said. What you have to say, Christina Rago? You have been changing a lot.
Say it again.
You have been changing a lot.
Yeah, I have been noticing my reactions continually softening over time in areas where before I would have high reactivity much more often.
Okay. Beautiful. Have you reacted to me couple of times?
Have I reacted to you? I think there were a couple times.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I think when I remember, yeah, if we get challenged, that it is your reaction. It is your reaction. Sometimes I just no, it's not fair. So yeah.
Yeah. Good. I like your honesty. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. You mentioned the word blanket, and the Mangacharan is the blanket, or like the blanket, that can help you practice endurance towards the outside world. And it's almost like being an athlete. The more you practice, the more endurance you have.
Beautifully said. More you practice, you have not only to listen it philosophically and leave it, you have to apply it. Somebody reacts, and then you remember, oh, here is it. Let me apply endurance here. Let me apply. So, yeah, I have to apply endurance, Christina Rago, at least 50 times during the day. Every minute situation changes. We have to apply that. Yes, another Christina, what you have to say?
I feel like I love having this open conversation with everyone prior to the meditation because everyone's points are just really grinding it into my brain. And I appreciate it so much. And I've just been reflecting I've been very affected by the sama and dhamma of my own mind and the external factors. But recently, I am able, within this week, I've been able to point out exactly what is not mine. It's been a past impression, or it's an external thing. And I even have said it loud to my partner. I was like, oh, I don't know what that reaction was. That was my ego. That was, and I catch myself. So that time between the reaction and realizing and reflecting has gotten really short. So yeah, thank you.
Yes, she pointed out a beautiful thing. When you apply these principles, you find out that you are able to recover from the reaction and hesitation much faster as compared to in the past. You are reacted, and that reaction and anxiety remains for a couple of days, and after that you feel good. So that is what she is pointing out. That level of reaction, you reacted maybe because of the past, but now you recognize, you realized, and it has changed you. So that reaction time is reducing. That is another good point you have mentioned. But yes, again, I'm repeating one thing. You have to listen to again, make a lesson plan, project of life. Make a project of life. Now this is the project. Endurance. How important the titiksha is in my life. In what ways I should apply in my life. I have to evolve. We are all moving towards the awakening. Yes, and Vaibhav, and then we will do the practice. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, today's lesson is like a reminder, like it's like in this whole journey, it's a teaching to the mind that you have to accept the world the way it is. So it will, like whatever is happening will going to happen no matter what. So, and these 6 treasures, like what I'm learning is like it is giving an option to the mind. Now I'm consciously selecting what should be the content of the mind rather than being with the default contents of the mind.
Yeah.
So this will creates an option in the mind to tackle a situation which minds never learned before.
Yes, that is the beautiful. I choose by 6 treasures what should be the content of my mind. I do not allow the mind to work. Do not allow the mind to work by default. That is what I said, the default mind. Are you getting it? That's another way to summarize it. Default mind is impulsive, reactive. It is deluded mind, it is impulsive mind, it is reactive mind. So now I am choosing what content should be there in the mind. What content? Sama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha. Close your eyes. Let us start our journey. Eyes are closed. Stage 1, place, position, and posture. I'm not spending too much of time. Can you move with cognitive awareness, place, position, and posture? And being comfortable, change of direction. I'm just using the knowledge part. And then sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Being carefree, experiences, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And being carefree means, oh, I'm carefree in the midst of the crowd. So that crowd lives in my mind. So whatever the thoughts are coming, they are observed, they are seen, and I'm thus here. I'm trying to change the language for better and deeper understanding. And then what? Now, as if, I have peeled the mind, the surface, the skin is peeled. What is that skin? It is constantly engaged in default state. So that is peeled. So I find a softer state, and there, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be peace, happiness for all. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be fulfillment or completeness in all. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. Did you apply that cognitive awareness which we discussed in the very beginning of the talk when I started this session? So you recognize now, yes. And you are already in the state of the calm and peace and the joy. Now, stage 2 is about the breathing, and the breathing has two purposes: to purify the mind and to get a remarkable focus. Why? We need that. We need that in order to discover the real self. So I will go directly today. You look inside the forehead in the space and then start breathing into the belly. You squeeze the belly while exhaling. You expand the belly while inhaling. Remember, I'm saying long, deep in the hissing breath. You should hear the hissing sound, 1, and belly expands while inhaling, and belly squeezes while exhaling. Our goal of the second stage, purify the mind. A remarkable focus. We need a tremendous focus. It is not the focus of modern cyclists. It is a remarkable focus in which you are natural. Remarkable focus by higher awareness and alertness. So here, focus does not mean we are focusing on any object. Be very clear about what Eastern wisdom says, continue breathing long, deep in the hissing breath into the belly. Long, deep in the hissing breath into the belly. Long, deep in the hissing breath into your belly. And stop this belly breathing. Allow the breath to return to normal. And normal means that your mind is engaged in the flow of the breath, which means the presence. You are an observer of the breath. You're observing, so that being carefree continues all along the practice. And in that flow of the breath, we transition to the stage 3. I'm repeating, your transition so that you understand clearly. You become your own practitioner and teacher of the meditation. So there is a flow of the breath. Do you still recall and remember what I did not say on this flow of the breath? I believe so. Can I remind you? Flow of the breath, both the nostril, you check the flow of the breath from both the nostrils. And in that flow of the breath, you drop Om Shanti on each breath going in. Non-verbal. It's because the breath is very short, so your Om Shanti should adjust on the breath going in. What is that meaning of adjustment? Is again, you are intensifying your awareness. You are moving into the higher awareness. That is the real meaning. And you see that you transition from dropping Om Shanti with each breath. Now you are dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of fingers. I believe you might have understood. One is a dynamic breath. Breath is dynamic, constantly moving. There you are dropping Om Shanti. And these 16 segments of the fingers are static. Oh, dynamic and static. You are so I'm just using the phrase you will understand. So dynamic and static dropping of Om Shanti on the breath in and out, and now on the segments of the fingers. Both works. And both can help your mind. Both can take your mind deep within. Whether you say deep within, it can lead to higher awareness, or you can say it can also lead to focused. Many ways we can explain it. And in that stray look inside, we are still in the stage 3. We will transition by this step. Move the mind deep inside the heart. Visualize the triangle dropping Om Shanti on each side of a triangle. Find is the mind sinking with Om Shanti side of a triangle and movement of the mind. And if that happens, you find the sync with clockwise and anti-clockwise movement. And now, when the sync is there, you sing mantrally Om, pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Finding mind seems to stop, you drop Shanti, you transition into the stage 4, self-absorption and waiting. Understanding of the self-absorption, I have to explain that. Patanjali explains it beautifully. The Trinity is you can say Trinity is dissolved. What is Trinity? The knower, knowing, and the known. Every action has 3 important factors manifest in the mind. And all the 3 factors dissolve. That is what we are talking of self-absorption. We already discussed, if you have any vision, colors, images, let them come and go. You see that you all are seekers. You know how easy it is to lay off any images, vision, colors. They come and they go. They come and go, they are observed. You are an observer. Otherwise, we get caught in hallucination and imagination for years together in meditation. And we stuck with that. We create a heavy conditioning. So even if the vision, images, and colors are appearing and disappearing, whether they appear, they stay, you say, okay, not getting attracted or attached or identified. already requested last time also, and this time also it is better to keep half an hour window open, and if you get absorbed, and just check it how longer you can stay. That is a beautiful way to transform faster. Now I will chant the mantra. You can also do it with me loudly or silently depending on you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Christina Arago?
Just felt a deep disconnect from the world. And then visions of a lot of people who had passed in my life came at the end.
But they did not disturb you.
No.
Beautiful, yes. Disconnect. We are already disconnected from the world, but because of attachment, delusion, impulsive nature of the mind, because of the absence of the six treasures, we find we are attached. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good. I'm completely relaxed and completely at peace.
Beautiful. Yes, another Christina.
Thank you, Girish. I'm very calm. I feel very, very calm, which is not usual for the default setting that I've been on.
Yes, you have to live into that state of the calmness, even with the partner. That is what we learned Titik today. Let your partner say, "Oh wow, how come you have changed so fast?" That has to work. Yes, Stephen.
Good, sir. Thank you. Meditation started out a little bizarre. My mind started comparing our lessons to financial models, and
Okay.
I basically said, seriously? And I chuckled, and then it completely shut down. And I went into a very focused meditation that then became very deep. So thank you.
Beautiful. I thought the financial issues continued, so you should have shared some finances with me also. But it dropped anyhow. That is good. It should drop. Everything should drop. Why? Then the revelation takes place. Yes, David and Jerry.
Thank you. Tremendous space and detachment and just peace and happiness. Thank you.
Beautiful. You see that? If we live with this sama, dhamma, uparama, even by talking, you live into that cognitive awareness, and that helps to deepen the practice of meditation. Meditation without understanding is no meditation. Meditation without understanding, then you fall into sleep. Sleep is not meditation. Beautifully said. How are you, Jerry?
Thank you, sir. I'm good. It was deep, dark joy. It let joy, a sense of joy during doing it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर पहले तो थैंक यू, आपका गिफ्ट मिला है। और सर जैसे पहले होता था कि कुछ ट्रिगर्स होते थे तो मन खराब होता था, बेचैन होता था। अब मन शांत रहता है और अगर मुझे किसी को जवाब देना भी है तो मैं उसको जवाब देने के बाद भी मैं शांत रहती हूँ।
Beautifully said. She says that she has started living in calmness in all the situations, and even if someone triggers her, she is able to maintain her calmness within. That is a great progress. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. I was thinking about what Dennis said about how we do like repeatedly what we like. I'm kind of paraphrasing Dennis, but then also to Stephen's point, sometimes when the mind gets crazy, you don't like thinking about financial models when you're trying to meditate. So I think that's the application of the tiksha, just like enough. Really, I don't like this. Why is this on repeat? So my meditation is good. Thank you.
We are not reacting to anything and everything. Financial model, very good. Any model, very good. Why? I'm not attached to it. So, Randy, that level of calmness should be there. What Sangeeta was saying. Dennis.
Meditation was peaceful, no visions, no unusual experiences, just a peaceful, deep, and thoughtless state. Definitely could stay there for a longer period. Thank you.
Beautiful. Staying for a longer period. Remember, I'm reminding you because we have been doing these practices for so long, you may find lot of people asking you, oh, what kind of, do you have some vision? Do you have some color? Do you see some images? And many people you have found they stuck to those images and visions which they claim is the spiritual awakening. It has nothing to do with it. Spirituality, you, not separate from you. So what is separate from you? Vision, colors, images. So it has nothing to do with the spirituality. It is purely subjective awareness. Yes, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. So mind became really calm. It was absorbed and like bodilessness was there.
Yes, beautiful. Beautifully said. Now I'm reminding you, take Project Life 1. Listen to it, gather the experiences of everyone, and then give a title to the today's lesson and help me so that help me to teach you. So in the next lesson you can tell me this is the better title of this. So not only that, you can also talk about that. You can talk about that in a group, or you can teach also. That is all for today. Barbara can teach Jackery.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Namaste.